As a therapist, I've noticed that people get into patterns. They get into bad habits, which become patterns, and they enter gridlocks. And the gridlocks is what actually destroys the relationship. Not only that, for centuries, I mean, if you watch the Bridgertons, the Netflix series that happened centuries ago, and you were to compare that today, you would notice that these gridlocks do not change. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 common relationship gridlocks that lead to the destruction of your relationship. The first of these, trying to read your partner's mind. When you've been together for a long time as a couple, what happens is they become predictable. You learn their mannerisms. You start assuming you know more than you do. And so when you do that, you basically make assumptions and you act on those assumptions without checking with your partner. This leads to miscommunication and lots of resentment. So to prevent this, instead of making assumptions, always check back and ask your partner how they feel, what they're thinking. This is very important, especially if the two of you have a big, like some sort of a decision you have to make. You don't want to answer for them before you check back with them. Secondly, any insult or teasing your partner in an insensitive way. When you insult or you make fun of your partner's weakness and you say, well, I'm just teasing, you underestimate how hurtful that can be. Your partner might not say anything, but that doesn't mean they don't feel hurt. This is especially poignant when you're with friends and you make fun or tease them about some weakness or something they did that made you laugh. It's really important that you watch cues of your partner if you're going to share some information. And I wouldn't share anything that I didn't know for sure they were okay with. Once again, that means I'm going to ask them how they feel. Anytime that you're relaying how you feel, you should always use I feel statements, not repeat what your partner said. Once again, unless your partner's okay with that. Thirdly, assuming you know how your partner feels. No one can know the hearts of each other. So the only way we know how someone feels, including our partner, is to ask them. And when we ask them, how does that make you feel? We open their whole idea of sharing information. It brings the couple together more because it makes it more likely that they can trust you. They can be vulnerable. They feel safe when you step back and ask them how they feel. When you assume you know how they feel, or you tell them, I know how you feel, I've been in the same situation, you're basically telling them, I don't really want to hear how you feel. Don't share it. I already know. We can never know another person's heart, so make sure you ask them. Next, tuning your partner out or walking away when they're talking. I like to encourage clients of mine who come in to listen with their eyes and their ears. That means you're not looking at a gadget, you're not looking at a screen, your phone is in another place. When your partner talks, you are available, you are present, 100% there for them. When you do this, your partner feels special. They feel like what they say really matters. It is a good idea, if you're going to say something really important to you, that you make sure your partner isn't distracted in the beginning. If your partner's watching a game, or maybe you're watching a series on Netflix, if you interrupt that, it may be hard for them to stop what they were doing and to tune in to you now. So part of it is pre-planning when you want really your partner's attention. But by all means, when you're talking to each other, the other partner must be present and available. And lastly, when you begin acting like your partner's boss or their parent, you're commanding them. Whenever you insist on commanding or you insist on your way, you basically take away your partner's personal power, and they don't like it. When you do this, you may think that you're helping them. Maybe you're going to help them with a new diet, or maybe you're going to help them with an exercise plan. So you're like, well, I thought we'd go running, and then after that, we're going to go to this restaurant where they serve us healthy food. Ask your partner, When you start commanding your way, you make them feel small, like you're the parent, you're the boss. And that cuts down, that forfeits intimacy, and you don't want that. You want more intimacy. A much better tactic is to go to them and say, listen, I really love you, but I'm concerned with the way you're taking care of yourself. I'm wondering if you and I can come up with a plan where we can both eat better and exercise and do it together to encourage each other. That's going to make them feel part of the team. They're going to want to help you. They're going to want to come closer to you. They're going to trust you. And that's what you're going for. When you notice any of these patterns in your relationship, which you probably will, it's important that you note it, that you talk about it, and that you change direction so you can maintain your health and you can maintain the emotional stability of your relationship.